Look, I know that this video might not be the most exciting one, but it is so important if you want to make changes in your life, because if you don't understand what I'm about to say, you won't be able to change your life and you won't be able to achieve your goals. So the first thing is motivation is not enough. It's not going to work. How many times you watched a TikTok video and you got super motivated and then you just went back to scrolling? Or you watched a video, you got super motivated, and for a day or two, you were doing good habits, you were going to the gym, you went for a run, you did your work, you didn't scroll on social media, but then you went back to your bad habits. So, motivation just simply doesn't work. If you try to get yourself motivated, yes, it might work for a day or for a couple of minutes, but it's not a sustainable source of energy. Now, what about pain? Look, I thought that pain was the best thing, right? Because they always tell you that if you feel pain and you suffer, then you will achieve your goals. You will have the energy to take action. Well, this is somewhat true because you feel pain, you feel suffering, so now you're motivated to take action to feel better. So you start to do the right things. As you start to do the right things, you start to feel better. You feel less pain. And because now you feel better, well, you stop doing those things that got you there. And then you start doing the bad habits again. And slowly but surely, you start feeling horrible, you start feeling pain, and the cycle repeats itself. In summary, as you start to feel better because you're doing the right things, you start to lose the only thing that kept you moving. You start to lose the pain, your only source, the only thing that your body and brain knows how to use to keep you to take action. So basically, you might even start to self sabotage your own success when everything is going great. You start to self sabotage because you're missing that pain, that feeling of suffering. You're missing it because that's the only way, that's the only source that you have to get you moving and to take action. And that's a problem. And you see it all the time. The guy goes through a breakup, he feels pain, he feels suffering, he has unlimited amount of energy to just take action. So he goes to the gym, he's super disciplined, he changes his life. Everything starts to go better and better. He gets a new girl. And now there's no much pain or suffering. Now he's comfortable. It's nice. He has a girl. He can just chill, be comfortable. And basically there's no much pain, there's no much suffering. He just lost his thing that was keeping him moving, which was pain. And because now he doesn't have any source of energy, well, he stops doing the right things. Of course, his life gets worse, his relationship gets worse, another breakup happens, and then guess what? He feels pain now, he feels suffering, and now he has his energy and he starts to be disciplined again. So you see, it's just a cycle that repeats itself. So that's why it's so important to not rely on just pain. I know pain can be a great thing, but you cannot just rely on it every single time, because as you start doing the right things, you feel less pain, but you still need something to keep you moving. So, pain is not something that is, again, going to be sustainable. Okay, so we talked about motivation, we talked about pain. What about fear? I thought for a long time that fear was the solution to everything, because nothing is going to make you change your life more than fear. When you feel fearful, you're going to make the biggest changes in your life. It's going to be the initiator. So, if you have the fear of getting sick because you live in a healthy lifestyle, or the fear of dying, the fear of being alone, the fear of staying broke. Fear pushes you to rethink your whole life and to be like, look, I have suffered enough. I don't want to suffer anymore. I have to do something about it. I need to make changes. But the problem is, fear has the same issues as pain. As long as you have fear, you will take action. It will drive you to take action. Because you're taking the action and doing the right things, you feel better. Now, because you feel better, you don't have any fear anymore. So you just lost the thing that was driving you to take action. So you start to do the bad things, life gets worse, you start to have problems, and then again you have fear and stress, and now you again have motivation. You have the source that was pushing you to take action, and the cycle repeats itself. You see, motivation, pain, fear, they can be really helpful in certain cases. Yes, they can be a bonus that will give you this extra push, but it's not something that will keep you consistent. Instead, what will happen is you will go moments of high productivity and then moments of unproductivity. And your life is basically going to be like a roller coaster. Super productive, not productive. Super productive, not productive. And you will end up not making any progress. That's a bad thing. So, what's the solution? You have to make yourself rules and you follow those rules no matter what. You know what's good for you, you know what's bad for you. If you don't lie to yourself, you know exactly what is good and bad for you. You make yourself rules, you write them down or you remember them in your head, and you follow them no matter what. And I know it doesn't sound exciting, it's not like those TikTok or YouTube videos, because most of the solutions that will fix your life, actually fix your life, they're not gonna sound exciting. They're not gonna make you feel good. They're not supposed to make you feel good. They're supposed to fix your life. Because you know exactly what you could do that would fix 80% of your life. 80% of your problem could be fixed if you do this one thing that you're not doing because you're lazy or you're too afraid to do. But hey, if you just want to feel motivated and get excited and feel good about yourself and get some dopamine, you can just go and continue watch some TikTok shorts. I'm sure that will make you happy and will make you feel motivated. But you're gonna stay a loser because you're not gonna take action. If you don't want to be a loser, listen to what I'm saying. Make yourself rules and take action. Because no matter how much information you listen, if you don't take action, nothing will happen. So, what do I mean when I say make yourself rules? It can look something like I'm gonna go to the gym at least 3 times a week. I am not gonna scroll on social media. I am not gonna eat processed food. I'm gonna be more pleasant around my loved ones. Those are all rules. And with rules, it doesn't matter how you feel. You can feel tired and sad or motivated and happy. You will still do the exact same thing no matter how you feel. You will do the exact same thing to get what is supposed to be done every single day. So, next time you're faced with a decision, instead of making a choice depending on how you feel, you pause and you think about the rules that you create yourself that you know are going to make you successful, and then you make the decision based on those rules that you created. Now, the next part is so crucial because that's what's going to make the entire thing work. It's so important for you to understand that when you're about to do a decision, you have to basically numb yourself and completely turn off your emotional brain. You have to be purely logical, cold and logical, because you know what are the bad things that you shouldn't do because you have rules that you created for yourself. You know the things that you should do because they're good for you because again, you have rules. You don't think too much about the decision. You just simply go back to the rules that you create for yourself and you see what's the best action to take depending on those rules. Because the more you think and the more you try to convince yourself to not do a bad habit, the more chances and the higher the chances that you will indulge in that bad habit. Because then you start to rationalize. You start to think that, oh, maybe it's an exception, or maybe it's not too bad if I do it. So the more you think about doing a bad habit, the higher the chance that you will do it. So it's best for you to simply just be purely logical, don't think too much about it, you're faced with a decision, you go back to the rules that you created yourself, and then you make a decision based on those rules. And I'm gonna go further in this. The next time you're faced with a decision or you're taking that decision, don't try to motivate yourself and saying to yourself, oh, I am so strong. I'm taking the right decision. I can do this. I'm the best, I'm gonna take the right decision. Because, yes, that's what your brain is telling you while you are in a good mood. But what's gonna happen when you feel sad and tired? What is your brain gonna tell you? It's gonna say to you, oh, let's make an exception. Oh, you know what? It's not a big deal. It can be a cheat day. Oh, nothing will happen if you do this. Oh, I will do it tomorrow. So that's the thing that your brain will tell you if you go with the path of trying to motivate yourself and go with the path of feelings and emotional side of things. That's why you have to be purely logical. Because logic, it doesn't matter how you feel. Logic is logic. It's going to stay the same. That's why you have rules. Rules do not depend on how you feel. But the inner monologue that you're going to have in your head is going to depend on how you feel. So if you always try to motivate yourself, it's not going to work. It's only going to work when you feel good. But then when you don't feel good, you're not going to be able to motivate yourself to do the right decision. That's why you need those rules. That's why you need to use pure logic. Look, I know I'm repeating myself, but I just want this to get into your brain because it took me a while before it got into my brain because I was pretty stubborn and I suffered because I wasn't listening to the experiences that God was showing me. So please learn from me and trust me when I tell you you cannot rely on your emotions and how you feel before taking a decision. Because if every single time you were taking a decision based on how you feel, it got you where you are right now. And you're probably not happy where you are right now. So maybe you have to change something. Maybe you have to change in the way that you're making decisions. Why not try to make decisions based on rules that you're going to make yourself? Because you know what's good for you, you know what's bad for you. It's not hard to do. If I tell you just write on a piece of paper what's good for you and what's bad, it's not going to be hard for you. What's going to be hard is applying those things. And that's why I'm saying to you, make yourself those rules and try to follow them as closely as possible. Yeah, maybe you mess up one time or a second time, but you try your best to follow those rules. And when you're about to make a decision, just numb yourself completely, turn off your emotional brain, and go purely logical. Don't think too much about the decision. Just go back to your rules and see what you can do with those rules, and then take action. Alright, I will see you in the next video.